Hello, you guys. Welcome to yet another video of Chelsea India Roars. But good, guys. Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Nice to
Thanks,
be here.
Ajay. Thanks, Ajay.
I will make a quick introduction for both the guys. I know Vinayak from in my days at Aryaka in Bangalore. I think that was the very
2012.
first time we met, 2012, right? Well,
Yes.
I think the fan base in Chelsea was pretty small back then. You remember, like, if you used to go to any of those Man U screenings, it used to be like some handful of 10 or 15 Chelsea fans against like some 400 Man U fans.
Right. One of the best things I remember with you is that we watched the Champions League final together when Chelsea won it.
Correct.
We were there.
So that that has to be the highlight, man. And Saket,
Yes.
if you know, like, I think that was precisely the first time anyone did a overnight screening because that match
Yes.
ended almost at 2 o'clock, right? And Bangalore had those restrictions that you couldn't have kept it. And by the time that match ended,
The
we
police
did
had
that
come.
exactly. Eddie
Yeah.
and group like the older boys from the Chelsea India supporters
We
club, they
we had
hosted. And
to
Vinayak got their contact.
we had to fight with the bar owner to keep the TV on for the post presentation ceremony. As soon as the match ended, he turned off all the TVs, and we couldn't see the trophy presentation. It was the Champions League trophy, and we couldn't see that. So we had to fight with
And
him to
then
keep.
and he provided us a small TV, remember, like a
Yeah,
portable TV. That we just watched that that portable TV.
he turned off all the
So,
big screens.
so I think that was one of the old memories. And since then, like Vinayak obviously moved to the country of maple syrup, Canada now. So that's why we don't get to like meet each other that regularly. And coming to Saket, I think Saket, I met Saket. I think the first time we met was during one of those screenings at which
2014, I think.
two,
Yeah,
2000 did
2014 or 15, somewhere in that time. The first screening, that was in Bangalore. I think that paper. No,
exactly. No, it
yes,
was in Vapor. It was in Vapor. Yeah.
yes, and it was like really. I think we won that match. No?
Uh,
It was against. I still have the photos. I remember
mm,
that I just got a text from your end that okay,
mm,
Saket, you
mm.
stay in JP Nagar. We have a group
Correct.
that does that like screening, and I was really excited. I think 2007 when I started following Chelsea. That was the first time I went for
Mm,
any screening, even though I was staying in
mm,
Pune, Mumbai. First time I went to Bangalore, and luckily
mm.
you introduced me to your great supporters club, and till now I'm in touch with them. Even though
Part of it. I know.
I've shifted to Mumbai, I'm in touch
Yeah.
with them, and like they are family. Like Chelsea is a
Yeah.
family, they are family. So
Man,
good.
those guys. I think that Chelsea India Supporters Club. Those guys are doing a phenomenal job. Previously,
Yes,
Dinesh and Eddie and all those guys, and now I think it
exactly.
has been taken over by
Yeah,
Vijay. Correct. I spoke to him yesterday, and he couldn't make it for today's video, but he said I'll collaborate and
yeah.
so
He
some
was
of the videos in
traveling
future.
somewhere, but even Eddie told me that he would
Mm.
definitely like to collab with you.
Yeah.
Vijay, Eddie, Chetu, your best friend Chetu will also like.
Hey, that that reminds me, Vinayak. Like we did something very different in 2017 when we did that road trip to Mysore, right? So
Yes.
I think it was some 10 or 15 guys all in bullets and respective bikes, and we went for a Mysore ride, and we actually screened that match in Mysore. We got some
And
fans from
we won that match also.
we won that match as well. There. So that was
It's a
the
good
highlight.
day actually altogether.
Hey, good guys. Like just remembering some of those old memories, like it was really good times. I just hope post Corona we can try doing something something similar. Are you wearing that Chelsea India T-shirt, Saket? I saw that exactly right.
I think you have the same one. We
Yes,
got it.
yes, yes.
I think this was during Conte's season, the first season of Conte when we won that like EPL. This was the
Hmm.
T-shirt that Eddie and team made, and I really like this one.
Correct.
Has a durability also, so I really like. But this was my lucky T-shirt. Whenever
Hmm.
I won this. This was the first time it was unlucky, but almost 9 out of 10 times, every time I wear this, Chelsea wins.
For me, though, I think this is the only T-shirt which I got delivered. Like Chelsea India folks, if you guys are listening, like for the last 4 years of membership, only once I've got the T-shirt. Please ensure next year, like you deliver the shipment at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's start with the bad news of the day. Southampton performance.
Okay,
Was
so
anyone expecting this score? Anyone of you?
I was. Honestly, I
I,
was. I have absolutely no
even I was.
confidence.
I just saw a Twitter message. This season,
hmm,
I think Chelsea is the team who has conceded maximum goals because of individual errors. So this
hmm.
season we have, I think, 5 matches in EPL. We have conceded 5 goals due to individual error, and out of which 3 are for Kepa.
Yeah. As soon as I found out that Mendy is injured and won't be playing, I knew that this game is going to be hard.
That's great.
No, no.
Why not Caba starts? Caballero should start more. I don't trust. See, I know that Kepa is going through some tough times. His
Hmm,
personal issues are also going on. He's a smart fellow. He should try his, like, we should actually loan him. To be very frank, whenever he is
hmm,
playing, the defenders are not getting that confident. You see this game when Mendy is playing, the Zuma has so much confidence, and when Kepa is
hmm.
playing, that confidence is like gone. So
I
there's a major mind like difference that happens
hmm.
against Kepa and Mendy or Kaba. That's
I think
that's
I have one contradiction there in the sense that, but before that, when you said that, were you expecting that result? There is this new play predictor in the Chelsea app, the Pitch Stand
yes,
app.
yes,
So
yes.
every time I predict the score, I start with the opposition, like putting that number there because I'll know Chelsea score or not, the opposition's will score.
That's good.
You
Yeah.
know,
So
if you are
even
into betting, one of the safest bets for Chelsea games is that both teams will score. You will always win money. It will always happen. Chelsea will never keep a clean sheet, and Chelsea will always score at least one goal. Even if
One
we
goal.
lose,
yeah,
we will score at least one goal.
And
yeah.
this number 3 is so unlucky. I don't know why Arijit is wearing that T-shirt. This 3 and 3 is
We're
not.
not even. I think that was the initial plan that if we at least have that three in our jerseys, maybe we'll start getting the 3 points. But I think that plan, and that ship is sailed. But just coming back to that Kepa's subject, obviously, like Kepa is a little underconfident. He's making individual errors, but I think Zuma was also supposed to be blamed for that second goal of ours
Zuma is
today.
Yes,
definitely
yes.
responsible. Yes.
And in a way, I think like when Thiago Silva came in, I thought like that would be one of the like out of all the new signings, Thiago Silva was one of the signings I was the most excited about, more than
Even me,
even
I was the most
Havertz.
excited
And
for Thiago Silva. Yes.
I thought that we'll get more stability. And because today he was not coming in, so I thought Kepa maybe didn't have enough chance today.
But I still don't understand why Rudiger is not playing. I don't think he's any worse than Christensen. If
But
Christensen can start, Rudiger can definitely start ahead of him. I don't see why he is being treated
So
like that.
there are, yeah, so there are rumors about Rudiger that he has already approached, like, January he's out. That's for sure. Either
No,
loaned
but
out.
I don't think it is his fault, right? It's not that he
yeah,
wants to leave. It's he's looking at options because he's not playing anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So it's, see, Lampard. One thing about Lampard is he's a man of commitment. If the players are given commitment on the field or as well as in the training, he will play them. If there is a single, like, 1% or 2% of people, like players, if they are not giving the 100% commitment, that, like, you can say, I think against West Bromwich, Alonso did a, like, what exactly he was doing. He was just going to a bus when the match
hmm.
is still going on. That is the kind of commitment I think a guy like Lampard will not tolerate.
But
So
with Rudiger, do you think there is some commitment issues?
That's the thing.
Rudiger,
That's what I'm
uh,
not agreeing with. I think Rudiger doesn't have those issues. He is
yes,
very
exactly. But
disciplined.
so that is like, I think Lampard is also following the traits of Jose Mourinho actually. So if
Hmm.
you are not in the good books of Lampard, you're out. So I think Rudiger is not in the good books of Lampard. That's
But
my.
I think like what is happening with Rudiger, I think is a little sad, especially because he was so instrumental in getting some of those German players
Yes,
like
exactly.
Havertz
I
and
was
Werner.
Warner.
Like
Yeah.
he actually pushed that team. And if you saw this last week's game in German team, I wouldn't say Rudiger was fantastic, but he was still decent. And I'm sure like a player of his caliber, he would want to feature in Euros in next year time. So he would want that consistent playing time. So if this is the situation, I think And Chelsea, the problem is now we have some 6, 7 guys for that two positions now, right? We
Yeah,
are
we
not able to play
have
Tomori. We couldn't loan
six
him.
CBs actually, six CBs. We have Tomori, we have Rudiger, we have Thiago Silva, we have
Zuma.
Five actually.
Zuma,
Christensen,
Christiansen.
Zuma.
Yeah, so many players. I think it will be a tough competition against these players. But still, our defense is so pathetic. I don't know when exactly. So we have to compete against so good teams, and now we are playing so bad against these. I would say I will not
Hmm.
degrade Southampton, but they against Chelsea. I would not say again, and that too at the home game.
Hmm.
We should not
And
perform this badly. Actually,
I'm seeing this to be a trend. I don't know if you guys also like. Even today, we were dominating for a. The first half, we were so dominant. It looked like we will be like a very easy, some 5-0
yeah,
win. Just like how we were dominating in that. Not in the second half, how we were performing in that West Brom game.
exactly.
But how we lost that momentum and second half, the way Southampton was playing, I thought like we might even lose the match. We were
So
actually lucky to get away with 1 point.
exactly. So did you hear the commentary just before the end of 45 minutes?
Hmm.
The commentator, I think they mentioned one thing very clearly uh, about Tottenham game. Jose Mourinho, like when Chelsea were
Yes.
playing so good, he
I
introduced
remember
two
that,
CBs.
yes.
Yeah, so he introduced two CBs, and that's how the
Hmm.
game changed. First
Hmm.
half, I appreciate Southampton that how they had come back. We should
Hmm.
appreciate, but it was totally due to our individual errors. Otherwise, if we go defensively well, I think we could win these matches. That's how.
That's why
Even
that's why I
Tottenham
feel
was like that. Yeah.
yeah, that's why I feel I think the right formation for us is with three center backs at the back.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
how Conte used to play, have three center backs and then Chilwell and James as our wing backs.
Yeah.
That's I think the best way for us to play because we're defensively so bad with two center backs.
Hmm.
I think
Hmm.
three
We
four three is something we can
Well,
play well.
more importantly, I think both these like the fullbacks, James and Chilwell, they seem to be pretty fast players as well. Like I
Yes.
don't know if they can replicate that Victor Moses and Alonso Wala
they
model that we
can,
did with
they
Conte.
definitely can, but we need those three center backs, and I feel that Rudiger, Silva, and Aspilicueta in the center back, three center back positions will do really well
I think
defensively.
that's a good.
You're choosing Rudiger over Zuma
I
for
would
the
choose
centre back.
Rudiger over Zuma. Maybe rotate between them, but I would
Hmm.
definitely not put Rudiger on bench so many games
Hmm. And
unless
Christiansen.
there is some other issue that we don't know about
yeah,
between Rudiger and Lampard.
I think the Tottenham game also, like what it also was a very big clear message was that there is still a big learning curve for Frank Lampard. Even though he has started in like good places, done reasonably well last year, but when it comes to those tactical mindsets or that genius part, which Mourinho, with the kind of team which Tottenham had, there was no way they could have beaten Chelsea. I mean, they literally played 4 matches that week when they played Chelsea, right? With almost a second string match. If you remember that game against Liverpool we had when Mourinho was our manager, where we got Thomas Callas as one of the defenders. Uh,
Yes. 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 Yes.
Torres and William, they scored that we won 2 nil. I
Two
think
nil.
it was a masterclass by Jose Mourinho with such a substandard side. How they beat us, like took the match to penalties. I think that is still something which Lampard is learning. I think even from his Derby days, he has not been defensively. Lampard's team has never been very defensively solid from the time he has been manager. Derby maybe nahi tha, in 2 years in Chelsea. We are yet to see that defensive formation, but till the time that stability comes, I think we are going to struggle with results. I think we
That's
are
how.
going to see a lot of these results. There are going to be a lot of 3-2s, 4-3s. That one, I'm looking for that 1-0 consistent performance, which I think we are still lacking.
So I think Lampard has already considered 63 goals in 42 games. That is the stat.
Wow.
So I have to check the numbers again, but that almost like something like that. So that's how you differentiate between great managers and good
Hmm.
managers. So
Hmm.
Lampard is getting the support this year.
Hmm.
So I'm actually like we have 3 or 4 WhatsApp group where like Chelsea Hindi, Chelsea India, like
Okay.
there are some of the fans who are mentioning sack Lampard. He doesn't have tactics. He always crosses at the
Yeah.
like he always suggests people to cross at like passes and the flanks rather than on the middle. No chances.
I think that is just a knee-jerk reaction if people are
Yeah,
like
it's a ninja, like
reacting.
what we call. I don't want to name it, but there are few blocks.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure.
Yeah, so they curse Lampard, but we should trust Lampard right now. He is
No,
having a
it's you can't blame Lampard when most of the games we lose is because of individual mistakes. It's not,
individual errors.
Hmm.
you can't
Exactly.
put it to tactics. Even
No.
though tactics should be better, but the reason we are losing right now is because of individual mistakes like Kepa's
Hmm.
mistake or Zuma's back pass and things like that.
Yeah.
So you can't pin it on Lampard in any way.
Yeah. And
But yes,
also,
if the results don't improve, then there's always a chance the manager is sacrificed.
no, and this time there is no other way because Abramovich has opened up his bank. There's like 200 million which is already gone in. If and I'm sure like even if we end up in top four, Lampard will still be sacked. Like this time, we are gunning for
We
either
are
of the titles.
definitely not winning the Premier League this time. That is for sure. And we are definitely not winning Champions League. The realistic target is a top four finish and a FA Cup, maybe.
Not
That's
with
the
this
real,
performance for sure. Not with this
yeah.
performance for
That,
sure.
that's
That's
what I'm
But
saying. Even with improved performance, I think top four is the realistic target. We cannot.
but that's the interesting thing. Even I was thinking about that our performance has been so substandard. But luckily, like in this season, none of the other teams have also been able to get their A game out. If
exactly.
you see
Right.
Liverpool or City or United or Tottenham like still
Tottenham,
uh,
I think, is going to do well, but they haven't even
is going
played
to do
Bale
well.
yet. And remember,
Yeah,
they have
Exactly
to yet start with Bale. That's going to
correct.
be a strong team with
It's a
strong.
Kane,
strong
Bale,
team.
and
Yeah.
I
Son.
think they signed another Wales defender, no? If I'm not wrong. They just signed some Wales centre back at the end of the
Hmm.
day, at the end of the deadline. Just yesterday, they signed another defender. What
Maybe,
that
Yes,
was,
yes, yes, yes. Just before the
yes,
deadline. Yeah.
but
yeah, so,
their attack is where what is going to make the difference. With Kane,
exactly.
Bale,
Yeah.
and Son up front, they're going to be very, very strong.
Well,
Hmm.
Signing wise, I think we made signing some that I feel was not necessary. Like for example, Havertz, I don't think was a necessary signing. Even though he's a very good player, I don't see
That's
him adding.
that's bold. That's bold, man.
that's
Yeah,
bold
yeah, no,
actually.
I really don't think him to be a very necessary signing, given that we had a more important, urgent need in the goalkeeping and the defense department. I don't know why we
But
would
we
spend
sorted the
90
goalkeeping position, right?
at
I
the
think.
last minute, but at the last minute, and that too, we didn't get the targets that we wanted. Like Oblak was the first prime target that Lampard wanted as a goalkeeper.
But I think with
Mendy
Oblak,
was never the first choice.
I know, but see, Oblak, like the release clause was so high. If we had to get Oblak, this would have been another like close
So,
to 100 million sort
yeah,
of a
no, yeah,
When you're
transaction. I think.
spending 70 million on Kepa, who was untested and not a big name goalkeeper, I don't think 100 million for Oblak is a big number.
Kepa was a panic buy. So Kepa is
Yeah,
just like Courtois leaving at such last instant. Kepa was a panic buy. We didn't have,
right.
so if you say so, I would like to contradict on Havertz's comment right now. So Havertz was actually scouted from last 1.5 year. We had scouts especially assigned for Havertz from, I think, when even before Lampard came to Chelsea. Chelsea scouts were like behind Havertz, and he's a prime talent. So I would like to speak about this. So Havertz was actually targeted by two teams. One is the biggest teams, like when in Bundesliga we have Bayern Munich, and the second is Real Madrid. If we would have waited another year to sign Havertz, I don't think we could have signed him. To be very frank, this Havertz deal couldn't have happened if Chelsea could not have approached him.
I think see, that's the beauty of having perspectives, right? We all
Yeah.
have like that way of interpreting thing. I think the point which Vinayak was more trying to emphasize that did we need that number? I think no one is doubting Howard's ability or what he can
Exactly.
do with the
Yeah,
ball.
I'm not saying
I would,
But,
anything
I would
about
say
Havertz.
that.
He's a great
but,
player, but did
but
we need
did we
him
need that by?
that
So
desperately when we needed a defender?
I I think like see a player of Harvard's caliber, very honestly, Vinayak, I think like if we would have lost that sort of a player, like there are not too many players of Harvard's caliber today, right?
exactly.
And players of that caliber, I'm sure like Chelsea is not the Bayern Munich or the Barcelona or the Real Madrid to have that pull to get some 5 to 10 hand players which is there you can list in your hand
Exactly.
and you
Yeah.
can pull them in the club. I think we saw that as an opportunity. If suppose And even though after we finished fourth, and like there was a strong interest from some of the other English sides also for Havertz. I
Yes,
think Lampard still pulled that player. I think was pretty remarkable, and he could only do that because of his like Lampard's pulling power. More
exactly.
than Chelsea convincing him, I think Havertz got convinced because of Lampard.
So yeah, it's just like
Could
the
be.
deal of you can say Hazard.
Yeah.
Hazard, even at the time when we signed him, he was
Mm,
not the most prospective player. When like even for Hazard or even for Drogba, he was one of the prospect. He was just like there. We people were scouting. But
mm,
I think if we look at from a broader perspective, because Lampard is not looking just for this season, he is looking to build a team which could be sustainable for the next 2 or 3 years. And as an attacking team,
mm.
like we want to be called next. I don't want to relate it. We want to be called as next Bayern Munich or next Real Madrid, but other players could easily come to EPL and sign for us. Like I think you can recall. Like
But
I
with today's performance, Saket, I think there is still we can very honestly say there is a long way to go.
we
And
are
I just hope
like
like
AC Milan
the
now.
team is there in next 2-3 years. This incredible team, and hopefully the manager is also there. Because looking at our history,
Yeah.
I think there is a good chance if these performances continue, Lampard might. But what are your thoughts on Timo Werner? Do you think that
Yeah,
was a good buy?
for me, he's the best, most intelligent buy that we did this year. We
For what
definitely needed
cheap
a
price?
striker who, yeah, we definitely need a striker who can finish, and we need somebody who is capable of doing solo goals like how he did today. Both
Mm,
goals were his own creation and completion, I would say. Even though the passing and assist were there from Jorginho and Chilwell, the actual opportunity creation and the finishing was all Werner himself. So we need
yeah.
somebody who can do that. Hazard used to do that for us. He would turn
Mm,
the match around on his own solo
mm,
efforts, and that's what Werner can do for us. So definitely Werner is, I think, the
yeah.
most influential signing for us this season
And not the
because he,
and not the typical cliched kind of strikers, right? Not the physical like Drogba or say even Giroud. He's so quick. Werner is so
yes,
quick.
yes, we've
Mm,
not had that in a long time. With the fastest I think we had was probably Torres, and that too he was past his prime when we got him.
yeah,
No, but do you agree with his positioning? So if you see his
He
play,
drifts wide. He drifts wide
yes,
very, very often. I don't know
very,
why he
very.
does that. Maybe he prefers it like that. Maybe he wants
because at
to.
Leipzig he used to play in that way, right?
Yeah,
Leipzig they used to always play with two strikers, right?
Yeah, 4-4-2.
right.
I think he
Yeah,
used to play 4-4-2 against any of the teams in Leipzig. And I think even Lampard need to understand that he is very comfortable. Like Werner is very comfortable for a two strikers. Like let's say Werner.
yeah. I was actually coming to that. I'm not sure how well he can pair with someone like Tammy Abraham.
But I
I
think
don't
Whether-
see.
Giroud will do well with him.
Yeah, but I don't see how we can play two strikers. We need to play Havertz. We need to play Pulisic. We need to play ZH. How are we
yeah.
going to play two strikers?
That's the problem with having so many players, attacking players up front.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem because I don't see Lampard changing his formation. He is
Yes,
going to stick to the formation for sure, and we can only play four attacking players in the front. And if
Mm,
Havertz and Pulisic and ZH are going to play their positions, then we only have one striker left.
yeah.
I don't know whom you all are waiting for. I'm actually waiting for Billy Gilmore to be back.
Mm,
He
I don't
was.
see how he will start. I don't know how. Where is he going to play, Billy
I
Gilmore?
think I think against Kante. So that is the position either against Jorginho because Kovacic is so fine until unless so he was a player of the season for last year. So definitely if he's fit, he'll fit in the role. And every
mm,
player like Kante, Jorginho, your Kovacic, they are so
mm,
well in their position. Billy
mm,
Gilmore will find it tough, but he has a good influence. So even if you correlate with the last season, again, apart from one match that he played really like sad,
mm,
that performance, he was really excellent against the
mm.
top elite teams like Liverpool, Tottenham. He
Yeah.
played so well.
No, he
That
had a very, very good start last year, but I think his stint was pretty short. Like, I think
Yeah,
we have not, uh, in order for us to establish whether he should be a fit or not, we have to see.
exactly.
But
I
suppose if you
think
had to choose, yeah,
No, I was going to say that I think he should go on loan. I don't think he will get the minutes in this Chelsea team to
Barkley
become
and
that
when
established.
is going, then definitely he should also go alone. Damn.
Yes, he should definitely. We did the right thing with Barkley and Loftus-Cheek,
Exactly.
and Gilmore should also go on loan. If in January, then in January,
Hmm.
but he should go so that he can become the player that he has the potential for.
And you never know how players come back after injuries, right? Like they completely transform the players.
Yes.
Zuma was like almost such a brilliant season he had, and that one injury, and he has never been able to get back to that self. Same with Torres, like when he came from
Yeah.
Liverpool.
Even
So,
Callum Hudson-Odoi, he has not been able to get his best form, I would say, after that injury, Achilles tendon that he had. He's
but
not.
I feel for Callum Hudson-Odoi, man. I think he's not getting enough opportunities.
Yeah.
Even him, I don't. I think loan might be a good decision for him because we definitely have Mount who will play on the wings ahead of Hudson-Odoi if Pulisic or ZH is injured, and I even Werner can play on the wings.
Yeah.
So
No,
there is a
but
good
with
chance
Hudson
if they're
Odoi, I
injured.
think why even know like Bayern was ready to pay upfront some 70-80 million for Hudson Odoi. Yeah? If we
But they
don't
don't.
see him in our plans, we should have just taken that money.
No, he is in the plans for future. That's the problem. Chelsea doesn't want to lose him, but at the same time, he doesn't have a spot today. But there is definitely a spot for him 1 season or 2 seasons down the line. He's
Hey,
still what,
but when you
19?
when you talk about future, yeah, Vinayak, if I was Hudson Odoi, if I see these guys are younger than me, Havertz is younger than me. If I see these guys getting more opportunities and they
It's not
put
about
me
the
as a
age.
futuristic
It's not
project.
about the age. It's also about your position, right? Now you have Pulisic and Ziyech who are going to start ahead of you, and you have Werner and Mount who can play on the wings ahead of you. So
Hmm,
no matter what your age is, you are not the automatic starter. So you have to make sure that you get your minutes. And now that we are out of the League Cup, there is no League Cup for him to start also.
Mhm.
hmm,
So I don't think being on the bench is a good idea for him. There is no
hmm.
development on the bench.
To be very honest, that option was available. I think during the penultimate week, the only options Bayern was looking evaluating was loan options. But I
No, I
think
think they
why
were looking to
Lampard
buy.
No, that was a loan option with an option to buy.
option to
Loan
buy
with an
next year.
option
Okay.
to buy, which Marina rejected. Quite frankly, she said no, we can't have this. And actually, there was a clause also on that. So every time Cho wouldn't have represented, or if he wouldn't have like made appearance for Bayern, even on that loan time, they would have to pay for it. So there was some clauses that Marina had put, which was
Hmm,
not agreeable by the Bayern Munich team management.
hmm,
So
hmm,
that didn't went well. So let's say that January is coming here. It's
hmm,
it's a very short time, another 2 months. We can see, because I think even Tomori's situation is not going
hmm,
pretty fine. Tomori could have gone to loan for West Ham, didn't work out
hmm.
well. We have a lot of players who are still in that segment of loan
Seg-
army.
Correct.
So
But what
yeah,
I'll say, guys, ki let today's results not be reflective of how our buying or our season with this transfer window has been. Because I
exactly.
think we've had one of the best transfer windows ever. The only closest could have been the 2004 one.
Yes.
Obviously, like that was a different. And I actually did like a very detailed video on comparing some of our top transfer windows also. But yeah, coming back to that, I think Marina did a fantastic job with some of those signings, and I think there is a problem of plenty with the club now. We have too many players. Some
Yeah.
of the players, I'm sure they were not. They might have not been ready to go to smaller clubs or the B League or to a different country or take a pay cut. So I think those would have been the issue because, but I think all the players who are looking to get a chance in the possible Euros or the World Cup, I think they all are looking for loan options or the opportunity where they can play more.
Yeah.
So
I
what
think all English
ideally,
players will end up going on loan.
ideally, say if I have to ask you guys, who would be like your ideal 11? Suppose if all the players are fit and available, who according to you would be in our ideal 11? Start with you, Vinayak.
For me, my ideal 11 would be with the 3-4-3 formation, not with the current formation. I
Okay.
feel Aspilicueta, Thiago, and Rudiger in defense, Rudiger
Hmm.
or Zuma,
Okay.
Chilwell and James as wing backs,
Yeah.
and Havertz and Kante in the central midfield. Werner, Pulisic, and Ziyech up front.
So you are going for a more like a Conte sort of a formation
Yes,
where
I'm going with the
I think
Conte
we'll
formation
attack from the
because
wings.
because I don't have confidence in the defense. If I had
Yeah,
confidence in the defense, I would have chosen a different set of players. But
yeah.
no.
Okay. Saket.
I would go for actually a 3-5-2 formation. I'll
Hmm.
start with Mendy. The
Hmm.
three would be Zuma, your Thiago Silva, your Aspi. Then your
Okay.
five would be Kante, your Jorginho, Havertz, Pulisic, and GH. And then
Okay.
at the front, Abraham and Werner.
So you don't have spot for James or Chilwell? No
No,
left back.
not right now. Not right now.
So there's
Okay.
no left backs, wing backs,
No left
nobody.
backs. I will go for a different mentality because Lampard's game is more of attacking. I don't trust defense at all. To be very frank, I don't trust my
But to be
defense.
honest with you, I think Chilwell is the best defender we have right now.
Chilwell,
Among
see, Chilwell, if you see the last two games he has played, see the interceptions that he has done and see the
Hmm.
crosses that he has made.
Yeah.
Okay. If I have to compare Alonso and Chilwell, I don't differentiate. They are both equal. They are just playing as false left wings rather than as false left backs.
I think Saket is going more with the Lampard mentality.
Yeah.
That attack is our best defense.
Attack is the best thing.
ऐसे में
Bang,
irrespective
bang
whoever we are
six
keeping,
goals, bang six
3 goals
goals,
तो पढ़ने ही है.
वो
Let's
तो बहुत
let's
सही
leave
है.
it. Let's just focus on scoring 5 goals. But
even if we concede five, that's okay. Let's score one more and do 6 goals.
but
Yes.
let me tell you one observation, guys. In both of your starting 11s, there was not one player which was not there in either of your starting 11s, but will definitely be in Chelsea team is Mason Mount.
Mason,
Yes.
Irrespective, Mason Mount is Frank Lampard's prodigal
No,
son.
Southgate,
Like
no, I
Southgate
don't think
will
so.
have money.
Once we have the full strength team, I don't think Mount is going to be the starting
Vinayak, I
11.
can bet on
impossible,
that. I can bet.
impossible.
Let's
Are
bet
you
on
saying that he
Canadians
will
currency,
start ahead
whatever you
of
bet.
Havertz, Pulisic, or Ziyech? One of those
I'm
three?
saying Mason Mount will start ahead of Lionel Messi also if we get him tomorrow. because because for Frank Lampard, I think that's the first position he chooses. Mason Mount, and
Yes.
then around him he'll let
First
rest of
Uh,
the team.
Mount and then even Kepa or whatever he has other option.
Look at the amount of that guy has played every possible game here. Then even in the England squad, 1 week break he got. They made him play there
I
also.
think he has played
I
more
don't know
than
what they're going.
Aspi.
he's a very good player, no doubt
He's a
about it. He's a
very
very good
yeah.
player. The only thing is he's not very influential. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
He puts in the effort, he puts in the shift, he tries to do a lot of good things, but he
Yeah.
almost never ends up scoring or assisting.
He still has a
He's
lot of time to learn. He is still in
yes.
the learning stage. I would
Yeah.
say he will take a lot. I think this season is going to be a break or make his career. So Lampard is giving you a
No,
lot of
for
chances. Yeah.
and for his age, I think if you see, this is actually his just third season here. He was
Yeah.
Derby 1 season at Chelsea, and already like in 2.5 season, he's done a very very good job. But I
Exactly.
think Lampard needs to be a little more tactical in how he uses him. And I know he is Lampard's favorite player. वो जैसे how Jorginho was
Starting.
Sari's
Sarri's
favorite
play.
player, right? Correct. He tries to play Mason ball. So, but I think like if I have to tell you about my formation, like I will choose any of these two formation ahead of what Lampard is playing. Like I know Chelsea is not able to play with this 4-3-2-1 is not working for him. I think
See,
the best formation from if I have to choose mine would be a 4-3-3 formation. Four defenders very similar, Chilwell and probably Aspilicueta because I think Reece James we can use in those games where depending on the kind of opposition also. I think in my ideal team, I would choose Aspilicueta because I will give more importance to defense rather than uh, those runs which James gets. And Thiago Silva and Zuma as the permanent two. Let's just not fiddle with them. In all those cup games, we can keep changing. But from a back four perspective, let's just keep them. Because, if historically, if you see all the great teams, they have had all consistent back fours. The more you try to make changes, because they build a rhythm only over a time, over a period.
not just
So,
back four,
yeah.
the starting 11 is always very consistent. If you look at
Yeah.
City or Liverpool, the teams that win titles, they have, even with our own teams like Conte's team, when we last won the title, we
Hmm.
had a fixed 11. We knew
Yeah.
exactly who is playing in which position,
Yeah.
and that's what if you all three of us give three different positions and three different starting lineups, we
Yeah.
ourselves don't know what is the right formation and
That's
the right set of players for
yeah.
this team right now.
That's why
That's
we
the
don't have
problem.
an IQ like Lampard. He has IQ more than 150 plus. So let him.
uh, I
What's
think,
your
but he's.
opinion?
Uh,
I was going to ask, what's your opinion on Jorginho?
I would, I no, I would have Jorginho in my team. Like, as I said, I'll have a 4-3-3. So I will play with Jorginho, Kante, and Kovacic as the three central defenders because I think Chelsea has played reasonably well with this formation. Up front, I will keep just three players, just Havertz, uh, possibly Ziyech and Pulisic. We'll try keep rotating that position, and Werner at front. But I will try to keep this 4-3-3 formation. And Jorginho, more importantly, see, against some of the sides where he gets a lot of space, like he was getting today in the first half against Southampton, there will be a lot of teams when they will be like defending with 10 men, right? So those would be the situation where Jorginho could be a very impactful player. But when we play against the likes of Liverpool or City or say even Tottenham, when there's like fast, pacey midfielders, Jorginho may not be the best player. Then we'll
So,
have to leverage Kovacic more.
It
so
doesn't
if
track
you are
back.
saying Jorginho is that important, who would you partner him with? Would it be Kovacic or Kante?
With both. I would always have three. I will partner like Jorginho, Kovacic, and Kante. Like usually, I would go with that three. But say, suppose
But
if we
you
are playing
can't.
against,
Then you have to give up on one attacking player.
I did no. I'm just playing three at front, so I'm doing 4-3-3.
So
Just
you're
two wides and one center.
So who will you sub when Kante gets injured?
I hope Billy Gilmore can. I hope Billy Gilmore can come in.
wait.
You
Who
know,
are
you
you
know what?
giving up? No, when you're
You,
playing Kovacic, Jorginho, and Kante in the central three, who is your front
Mount
three? Uh,
Mason Mount. I'm giving up, but I know that is just wishful thinking. But
but who
I
is your
will.
front three?
My front three is Ziyech, Werner, and Havertz. These are
So
my.
Pulisic you're
Not
giving up.
Pulisic. Not
Now,
Pulisic.
I can only make a change to that position because Werner and Havertz, I want that consistent German formation. Okay.
I
But the
think
four
Pulisic
three
is
three,
our best player right now in the team.
not yet. I think not yet. I think if if suppose in few games if he's able to come back to form, because see, like Pulisic is also coming back after a long injury. Okay. It'll take some time for him to pick up this game yet. So if we are comparing Pulisic to last season's Pulisic, that may not be the right comparison already.
But
Even
he's
Gini
the
was
only one who can go up that one additional level and become the kind of player that Hazard was for us.
Yeah. No,
yes.
that is also true. 100% true. One player in Chelsea team other than say Timo Werner, I think Pulisic definitely is that player who can create that impact.
Yeah,
Can like
he
do
has that
have a soul.
potential to go to that Hazard level of
Yeah.
a player.
I would replace Havertz with Pulisic in your team. That's the only difference I would do. I think apart from that, it's Kovacic in this mid. Because see, if you could have read that last season's Jose Mourinho's press conference, that he mentioned
Hmm.
Jorginho is one of the best midfielder in this era. He can actually change games. Only drawback with him is it doesn't track back. You can
Hmm.
see Sarri's game. He always mentioned in his press conference, I want
Hmm.
Kante to be a box to box kind of midfielder. Lampard still is not pushing him that much, but he's
But Sari ball was also a little different, right? Like when Sari ball was doing well in Juventus, like he had some really fast, pacey. That was his expectation with Chelsea also.
exactly.
That Jorginho will come in and he will start, but he unfortunately didn't have those players up front when he came in. I think Willian was just past his prime or almost mm, past his best at least. And Hazard already had his mind in Real Madrid, so I'm not sure he was not able to execute that same Juventus formation here at Chelsea. And
Yeah.
if I think
Sarri
Sarri
ball
was the
was,
manager in Chelsea today, he would have had a much better chance with some of these
I
young
don't
players.
know. I don't know. I would still feel that if Sarri was the manager now, we would still be doing the same side pass and back pass and never going forward. That's Sarri ball was never meant for Premier League football. It was
That
Yeah.
good
was
for
happening
Italian
right now,
football.
also right now.
Yeah,
See,
it's
Sarri,
it.
the problem with him, I think was the mentality also, right? he had never won a cup before coming to Chelsea. I think that was the biggest biggest flaw. He never had that winning mentality like Mourinho. In spite of having a terrible season at say United and being jobless, any day I will pick Mourinho because I know he's like a proven winner. In his sleep, he can help us get a cup. Not too many managers can claim that. So I think that was one of the fundamental things that I saw with Sari and also his love for tobacco. So
So, according to you, both of you, you would pick Jorginho ahead of Kovacic,
No, I would take Kovacic anytime.
because that
I
position, the central two, I feel
See, the
Kante is necessary. Kante is very important because Kante is good both going forward and in defending.
backward.
He can
Yes.
go to wings and defend on the wing. He can defend in the center. He can also go forward and be an attacking player when we have the ball and we have the possession. So I feel Kante is absolutely necessary for the team. I would sacrifice Kovacic or Jorginho to keep Kante in the team.
Yes.
Now, between
I-
Jorginho and Kovacic, Jorginho has the capability of unlocking the defense. He can do those passes. He can ping those balls ahead or on the wings. He has that capability.
accurate
The
passes, yeah,
accurate passes, something that Fabregas used to do very well for us.
do yes.
Yeah, and but the problem with Jorginho is that he doesn't do that often.
Hmm.
He has that capability, but he doesn't do that often.
No,
He
he
looks
cannot
to
do
be
that
more
often
safe.
with those pressing teams. Like suppose if you're playing against Liverpool, then midfielders are
No,
constantly.
that's where you have to do it more because when you have pressing teams, that's when you have to look for space behind them.
He
That's where
doesn't
he
have
has to
to
ping
check.
those balls.
He
Actually,
doesn't
you
have.
can't do it against teams like Burnley, or you can say the people like teams which actually lay back. Let's say the centre backs are like far behind even our.
He
Yeah,
likes to have a lot of space. In order for
Yes.
Jorginho to do his magic, he needs to have that
yes.
space, which
That's
you
the
can't
second thing I was
do against
coming
those
to.
attacking teams.
That's the second thing. Because of that, it's very easy to close down Jorginho. You just
Yeah.
Hmm.
go on him and he will send the ball back. It's very,
Step
very easy to nullify Jorginho. So,
Yes.
and the opposition teams know that. So, they always do that. Whenever he has the ball, they go on him. They don't give him time. He'll turn around
Hmm.
and he'll send it back to
Hmm.
Zuma.
Last
Correct.
That's
season,
what he
Correct.
does.
Manchester City did that. Liverpool did that. The same thing. They pressed
Yes.
Jorginho so hard, like he was clueless what to do. He made so many. He made two errors, if I remember it correctly, against Liverpool also, against Manchester City also, which led to goals.
Right. And
Yeah.
that's the third thing I was going to come to. He makes those errors. When he
Yes.
passes the ball short, he'll sometimes pass it short and somebody will intercept. And it's easy to also take the ball away from him if they put two people on him.
Exactly.
He'll turn, and he'll give away the
But
ball.
you
It's
won't see
happened
that
so many
against
times.
Kovacic. But you won't
Yeah,
actually see that against Kovacic.
right. So that's why I would put Kante and Kovacic ahead
Yes.
of Jorginho in my team if it comes to that.
So
But then
for
if
me, to that choice is fairly simple because I will just look at the opposition. If we are playing against the 10 teams below the table, Jorginho is the number one pick for me. If we are playing against some of the league toppers, like at least the top 6 to 8 teams, including Everton, including Leeds, because I think they are like as good a team like Chelsea today. If we are playing
right.
against those 6 8 teams, obviously Kovacic, because then we would need a more attack-minded player that time. But I will
And
make one.
Jorginho is very bad in defending. He cannot defend. He's
Yeah,
impossible. He doesn't know how
he
to
can't go
defend.
back and track the ball
No,
back. Yeah.
even forget going back. Even in his own position, closing
Hmm.
down the opposition player and trying to take the ball away, he's not able to do that. He
Hmm.
always gives away a foul when he does that.
There was a video also, no? He was like running like slowly, slowly, and the referee was running faster than him. He does that.
True. But guys, I'll say something which might be little. A lot of people might not agree with me, but I think we should have sold Kante and taken that money. I'll tell you why.
That's his plan.
Because see,
Yes.
I think yeah, if every player has their day, their time. I think the thing that we did with Hazard, maybe that was timely, maybe it was unfortunate. But I think we did the right thing with Hazard, and I think with Kante also he had a fabulous debut with Leicester, great season with Chelsea, great following season under with Sari with Conte going out and Sari coming in. But after that, for the last 3 seasons, to be very honest, like Kante, we love him because for the personality, for the character, for just the way as a player he is. But I think his playing style has deteriorated a lot. And if
So
a club is still ready to give 80 million for Kante, I think we should have taken that option.
Ranjit, I would say it's a sentimental value that Chelsea has with him. So, like you can say, now there are some clubs which has franchisee going along with these people. So you have
But
to improve the franchisee also.
does a club care about sentiment? Do you think? Do you think Chelsea as a club, like, do we
I
care
think
about?
Chelsea won't do that, but he has a sentimental value. Even if you post it in any of your groups, WhatsApp group or somewhere, let's say you posted that let's say sell Kante, you will have 10 people at least out of let's say 100 people. There would be some 90 people suggesting that no, we should keep Kante. There would be
Yeah,
10 people suggesting okay, Kante. So that's the kind of a sentimental value that fans have with these kind
with
of
him.
players.
True.
So
So I disagree with that. I disagree with with your suggestion that we should have sold Kante, but not for sentimental reasons. I still feel
Hmm.
that he's a better player than Jorginho or Kovacic. That is why I disagree. I feel Kante does a very good job of breaking up those passes from the opposition in the
maintain that pace.
defensive half, and nobody else is able to do that better than Kante.
No, but I was thinking one thing, Vinayak. Like, see, if till the time we don't sell Kante, or if we can't make that position vacant, how will we able to develop Billy Gilmore? Like, if
For
Billy
me, Billy
Gilmore has,
Gilmour is a natural replacement for Jorginho, not for Kante. I Billy Gilmer can take Jorginho's place, and now I will tell something which you might not
hmm,
agree with. I
hmm,
don't think we should have purchased Kovacic for 40 million from Madrid. We should have
No.
just after the loan ended. I think we should have let him go back. If especially because we
hmm,
knew that we were going to bring in Gilmore, we knew we were going to bring in Mount into the
hmm.
team. This was last season when we actually made the purchase. I feel that we should not have permanent made the deal permanent.
No, but I think what happened last season was because we already had a transfer ban. So I think they wanted to
They
leverage
panicked.
any possible
Yes.
opportunity of getting players.
I fully
That have,
understand why it was
yeah,
done, but I don't think that was the right move
Nahi,
because
but
yeah,
when we already had these players in those positions, we didn't
yeah,
need Kovacic. Again, nothing about Kovacic. He's a good
yeah,
player,
yeah,
and the same reasoning I gave for
yeah,
Havertz as well. When I said
yeah.
I don't think we should have bought him for 90 million because I don't think it's a necessary purchase. It's a good purchase. Yes, he's a
Hmm,
good player, but it's not a necessary purchase. That's where I feel that 90 million was not required.
no, but I have a contradiction on
hmm,
this. So, but if you want to have a depth, so let's say you might be knowing we have 7 matches in 22 days,
hmm,
7 matches, including this one. The next match within so next match I think we have against Sevilla
hmm.
Champions League. Then
Champions League, Sevilla, yeah.
United, then we have Krasnodar or whatever. We have 7 matches, and definitely players are going to be tired. If we don't
Hmm.
have at least 2 or 3 options for a single position, I don't think we'll be even ending up Champions League knockout 16 phase.
That's I have an answer for that as
The
well.
depth in the squad,
We
yeah. Hmm.
had Barkley and Loftus-Cheek who could play in that position. We could have always retained one of them and not had Kovacic.
See,
If
Barkley is a
Kovacic was never
different
going to
problem.
start, if Kovacic was a
Correct.
backup option to Kante and Jorginho, we could have had Barkley or Loftus-Cheek
See,
in
but
that position.
like we as a club, I don't think so. We ever buy in that strategic way, right? For instance, if you see Liverpool as a club, the way when Klopp came in, he immediately identified these are my four
Yes.
target areas. They went ahead and they bought Van Dijk. They saw keeper was a problem. They spent fortune and got Allison. When I say fortune now in retrospect, the amount of money we spent for Kepa is like incomparable.
No.
But see,
Yeah.
Chelsea as a club, we our buying spree is never like that, right? We
No, I
always
think
go for
this
some of the marquee signings.
No, this season I think Lampard had that thought. He had that vision in his head as to what he wanted, and he clearly told what he wants. And the club did a good job of getting all those targets. But where we have been unlucky is in the fact that we don't have all the players that Lampard wants available in the team. We've always been losing out on
Yeah,
some players or the other. Once that entire
correct,
team is
correct.
ready, I know what Lampard wants to do, and maybe it will work out well. Because even today's game, if you think about
Hmm,
it, our attack did the job.
hmm,
They did what they were supposed to do. Werner
hmm,
scored, Howard scored. They
hmm,
did their job. Defense is
hmm,
where we failed,
hmm,
and that is because
hmm,
we didn't have Mendy and we didn't have Thiago. So if we
hmm,
had those two players in defense today, we would have definitely won. 100% Mendy would have done a better job with the
hmm.
second goal, where Kepa completely
Yeah.
froze, and I don't know what he was trying to
No,
do.
no,
When
one.
he went for the ball, he stopped. I don't know what happened there.
And I 100% agree with that point. Like when it comes to an attacking mindset or the attacking set of players, not just in EPL, I think that attack lineup, even some of the European clubs will be wary of Chelsea this season. Havertz, Pulisic, Ziyech, Werner, with Mount, the way Mount and Abraham played last year, I think not too many players have that sort of an attack lineup. It's been unfortunate for Lampard that he has not had those players at his disposal in the timely manner. So,
So
no,
there's
I
a
completely, and I think,
yeah.
yeah.
So there's a meme on Instagram. So our attack
Hmm,
is equal to Oscar ceremony, and our defense is
hmm.
like Pan Parag ceremony.
Pan Parag Filmfare Awards.
Manik Chan.
So it is just
Hey, that
happening
is
like
good,
that.
yeah. Now let's shift the focus. Let's shift the focus to what are, based on whatever we have seen this season so far, what do you think the top six prediction is going to be? Who are going to be your top six lineup? Starting, let's start with Saket this time. Who is
Okay.
going to be in your top six,
So
Saket?
this season, with Everton going so strong, to be very frank, I want to go with Everton to be at the top.
Wow.
Yeah, this season I have seen this James Rodriguez, like his passes are so perfectly fine. He is making so brilliant. But I'm actually really happy to see some players in EPL which are so brilliant with so good vision. So I would say Everton being on top.
He's too good a player to be in
Yeah,
Everton, to be very
exactly.
honest.
And
I
even
agree with
even at second position, I would go to Liverpool just because of one player, Thiago.
you.
Thiago Valla. So he's a magician. If you see his game, if you I think you would have seen his game today.
Yeah.
He just made no look passes out of
Yeah.
anywhere.
He
I
was
would
one of
have
the best players even in the Bayern side. Yeah.
exactly. So
And
I
the sad part is that he was available. Like Chelsea was about to sign him, and Chelsea rejected the option of not buying
he
him. Yeah.
signed for only 35 million, if I'm not wrong.
Exactly.
35 million. So
Yeah.
why not Chelsea? I don't think Chelsea would have be a fitting position for him, but he's definitely a world class player. I after Fabregas, I appreciate in Chelsea. I mostly appreciate Fabregas as my best and a Hazard,
Hmm.
but Thiago could have been a one of the best player if we
But
were.
you're putting Everton over Liverpool.
Yes,
तो
I
मर्सी साइड में पूरा तो दंगा करवा
I
देगा. Let's start with your prediction, Vinayak. What is
Okay.
going to be your top six?
My prediction, I think Tottenham, I think, is going to win the league.
Arey. Both bold claims, man. He's saying Everton,
It's
you are saying
bold, and I
Tottenham.
hate it because I hate the team. I hate
Hmm.
Tottenham as a team. But I think two main reasons. One is Bale, because
Hmm.
he's a game changer. If he's at his best, or even if he's half of his best, what
Hmm.
he was at Madrid, I think he's the best player
Hmm.
in Premier League. Even if he's
Hmm.
half of what he was at Madrid,
Yeah.
ahead of Salah, ahead of Kane,
Hmm.
he's easily a person who can single-handedly change games.
Hmm.
Main one is Bale, and the second
Hmm.
reason being
hello.
Mourinho. He always gets his best year is always his second year at a team.
Yeah,
Whichever team you
Hmm.
choose, his best year is always his second year.
second.
I think
Yeah.
he has that experience to win the league. He has
Yeah.
the experience to manage the campaign, and with Bale and Kane and Son, I think they will win the league. That's my
Okay.
prediction for the league win. And I would not have said Tottenham. I would have gone with Liverpool as my winner for this year. But that changed today after I found out from news reports that Van Dijk is probably out for 6 months.
6 months. Yes,
Yeah, that changed. That's what tipped me to Tottenham. I think
and
if Van Dijk was not injured today, I would have still gone with Liverpool one and Tottenham
Yeah.
as two.
Yeah.
But with
And
Van Dijk
also,
out,
Allison out for a
Alisson
long
is
time
out.
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
So
without
I
Van
think
Dijk, Liverpool have already been bad in defense, even with Van Dijk. I think without Van Dijk, Liverpool are going to suffer defensively. And that's why I think Tottenham is going to win the league.
so. Everton for you, Tottenham for you. For me, I will still stick to Chelsea.
Oh.
Let's just hope this is not wishful thinking. Let's
It is
and to be
wishful
very honest,
thinking.
It
see,
is
I'm like
difficult, okay.
it might come across as I'm like saying this a lot from heart and not from head. But honestly, from what I'm seeing, the way this season is progressing, uh, as I said, like no team has yet peaked to the top level. No team is playing to that capacity. Just like how say Liverpool was playing last year, that they were just untouchable, right? no team is playing like that. They have played untouchable still now.
except
So
Everton. Except
No,
Everton.
today, like
no, even
they
Everton drew.
drew with Liverpool today, right? They were
See,
just
even
1-1.
today's game, even if you see they have drew this game, they are still at the top.
No, but Everton hasn't
Against
played.
against the champions. Against the champions.
But today was the first time they played someone in that top league also, right? Everton. Like they
That
haven't even Everton haven't even been tested yet. But yeah, don't get me wrong. Like I'll come to my top four again. Like I have huge hopes for Everton. But coming to my top, like I will still, I'll rally behind Chelsea. I think that Chelsea's attack is second to none in this Premier League. I think if we are able to sort out a defensive problem, there is no way we are going to lose out on some of those big games against Liverpool or City in matter of goals. Like if
Yeah.
they can score 3 or 4 goals, we can also score 4 or 5 goals. That's
But
going to be
defense
for
is
sure.
what will be our undoing with this.
Correct.
That's for sure. If we had some defensive strength, I would have also said
Yeah.
Chelsea. But I'm
Yeah.
confident that we will score a lot of goals, but we will also concede that many goals,
Concede.
and we will end up drawing a lot of matches. We may not
Yeah.
lose many, but we will draw many matches, and that is going to be a big factor in not winning the league.
so
But
let
again, as you said, I don't think this season is going to be a one-team procession like how it was last season.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's going to be very, very close, and I don't think
Very
the
close.
difference
very
between
close.
the top
It's too
three or
much.
top four teams will be more than 5 points
Yeah.
at the end of the season. It's going to be a very close
Who's
season for sure.
who's going to be number two? Saket, you said Liverpool as your number
Yeah,
two, right?
that's Liverpool for me. And the reason why I said that, definitely they have good attacking pair. They have good, you can say mid. Even if you say replacement of every player's replacement. So even Firmino could be replaced by Diogo Jota, who had a good PL experience.
Oh, he's a
You
very good
see,
player.
yeah,
Jota.
his movements are very fluid. He creates a lot of chances, and you if you can pair him up with Thiago, and like I actually Oxlade Chamberlain, they are injured right now. Shaqiri is totally out of contention, but Liverpool has a good strength. They are a good team, and with a manager like Klopp, I think they
Hmm.
can make up to number two. With VVD out, I think it would be some way they'll be competing against number two and three, but I think they can manage up to number two this year.
Yeah,
Okay.
I also agree. I think Liverpool will be number two.
Yeah.
Number two. Okay. For all the same reasons which
Yeah.
Saket also said.
For me, it comes down to Van Dijk. With Van Dijk in the team, I think there would be one. Without Van Dijk, there would be two. That's what
Yeah.
I think. But they're definitely in the top two for sure
Yes.
because of the attack and Klopp.
I think so. For me, number two, like I will not keep Liverpool as number two, primarily because first reason because they were champions last year. Okay. And I think one of the biggest pressures in Premier League is replicating your previous performance in the next year. Like someone said that the toughest part in Premier League is to win the Premier League again. So I was pretty sure that Liverpool might not be the title favorite this year, and all with all these injuries coming in, and with the kind of, I think even though Thiago was a good buy, Jota was a good buy, but I think for a team like Liverpool, I think they still needed few more buys. I think they were a little complacent with the kind of victories that they got last year. I think they thought that they already have, to be very honest, they already have a pretty well settled and a solid team that can compete for any tournament. But I think the injuries which we were just discussing is going to be detrimental, and that's why I've not put them. For me, number two is City. I think City is going to be number two. I think Pep Guardiola is too good a manager to be kept away from uh, title challenge for a long time. And I think the way Liverpool beat them last year, I think there is a lot of learning. I think they're strategizing a lot. And even though I wouldn't say their transfer window has been as successful as Chelsea. Like they've gone ahead and made signings like one of our old Chelsea boy. So I wouldn't say that they've had the bestest of transfer windows, but I think City also has a very good team. They have a superb team, very competitive team, and they would be my number two.
Mark my word, this is Pep's last season.
Okay.
Unless they get Messi next season.
Messi,
Unless they
yes,
yes, because
exactly.
I think Messi is not going to renew with Barcelona for
That's
sure.
for sure.
That bridge is broken for sure. So either he is going to US or he is coming to City. I
City.
don't see him going anywhere else. And if he's coming to City, Pep will resign a new
Please.
contract.
Otherwise, it's gone for.
Yeah, sure.
And that would be something, yeah, if Messi comes to Premier League. Like
I don't
that
know.
just
I think he will be past his prime for sure. He's 34 already.
but that is true, but that is true with see players of Messi and Ronaldo's caliber. We have all been talking about them that they have passed their prime for the last 5 years,
No,
and still
don't get me wrong. He's still a
yeah,
good player. He'll still be better player than anybody in Chelsea team, even when he
even
comes
in
to
the Premier
City.
League itself, anyone in the Premier League.
Yes, no
Exactly.
doubt about it. But what I'm saying is he won't have the same impact that he had at Barcelona. He at that point, and again, Premier League is not as easy as Spanish League, because Spanish
Yeah.
League everybody knows it's two teams and the other 18 teams are
Other
not that
teams
good.
are
Maybe top
Yeah,
three if you include Atletico as well.
Atletico. Yeah.
Yeah.
very pretty competitive. Who would be okay? Who would be 3 and 4 for you, Saket?
So number three would be definitely the unlucky three Chelsea. The unlucky number three Chelsea, because definitely this season, if Lampard doesn't get number three, his position is going to be in difficult difficulty. Like he will be in difficult
Not
situation.
difficult. He will be in Siberia.
Huh.
Roman Abramovich will put him in a nice chartered plane with Marina Granovskaya and send him.
Yeah.
Ituja.
Okay, you are going to edit this part out, right?
Please do, please do. No, but with the team that Lampard is building, this season I cannot count them as number one. This season is just a team in building. It will
Hmm.
take a lot of time because see, not only because the team is good, it's because all the matches are treated as like a friendly match. There's no fan pressure. If you play a
Correct.
home match, you see the fans behind you. If you go against an away match, the fans are against you. This is not this season. I don't think even 2021 we'll see that. So
That
that
might be
is,
a good thing for Chelsea, given how we were very bad at home last season.
At home, yeah. Now, I was about to make that point about Liverpool. I think one big factor why I don't see
yes,
Liverpool in my top two is because of this Anfield angle.
yeah,
That
yeah.
they don't have the Anfield fans to back
No, but
them. And
Manchester City are used to empty stadiums, so
yeah,
definitely they have good chance of.
that's why I put them in my top two. That they might perform better in empty stadium.
Yeah.
So who would be a fourth
Number
Saket?
four, definitely eyes closed. It would be Tottenham Hotspur. This season,
Okay.
it is for sure not because just because of Bale. It's because of
Hmm.
Mourinho. He is masterclass. I would like blindly say Mourinho to come to Chelsea anytime because
Hmm.
I really appreciate him as a manager. He is
Hmm.
definitely. There are few managers I like to follow their work. Like let's say, see what they do. Even if you say Bielsa, he is a
Hmm.
different class altogether. Mourinho is in that class. He knows he's a serial cup winner. Even if he does well, you can say average in the first season. Second season he knows how to win cups, and if
100%.
and even
Yeah.
if he doesn't end up getting a like you can say EPL in this season, he will definitely
Hmm.
end up getting either in Carling Cup or you say FA Cup. He
They
knows
will have some sort of silverware for
some
sure
sort of
by
silver.
end of
But
this
third
season.
season he's definitely going out of Tottenham. That's for sure. Third season is his unlucky season. He will definitely goof up.
Oh,
Kane will
you
have
should see
some.
that video. Okay, there was some journalist who asked Mourinho, ki, your
Uh,
third season hasn't been good. Then he gave like a big, yeah, what my third seasons have been. So
yes,
you'll be,
and I think
I'll
Mourinho will replace Lampard in the third season when he is going out. And
for our third,
No, I don't think Mourinho is ever coming back to Chelsea.
hey,
That
never
bridge
say
is
never,
done.
never
never
I
say
say
don't think
never.
so.
never. It is
His
happening.
love for
No, no,
England is
I
like
I'm
Back.
saying Mourinho will want to. I'm not saying Mourinho won't come. I don't think Chelsea is going to go after Mourinho again.
that. So I
Uh,
absolutely disagree. Chelsea, like, do you think like we will hold on to this emotional and ethics value?
no, 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 no. I
We
am
are only
pretty
a
sure.
performance-based club. Like if we
I
Yes.
see Mourinho is
100%.
the
I'm
best bet,
no, no. I
we got
agree with
we
you.
got Rafael Benitez, yeah, for one of the seasons. Remember, if we had that sentimental value.
Good thing is
Yeah, I
Manchester
forgot
City is
about it.
winning
So
against
many
Arsenal.
managers we have had. Even Rafa Benitez is a manager that we. Look at all the managers that we have chewed and spitted out.
And who got us the Champions League? Di Matteo. All the managers around.
Imagine If John Terry had not slipped, Avram Grant would have been the greatest manager in our history.
Oh,
History.
yes, yes. History books.
And
Okay.
Chelsea would have won 2 Champions Leagues.
That was that close. It was that close.
Yeah.
Let's bring the focus back. So, Saket, for you, Everton,
Liverpool,
Liverpool,
Chelsea, Tottenham
Chelsea,
Hotspur.
Tottenham. Okay, those are your
Okay.
top four.
For
Vinayak,
me,
what is three
it's
and four for you?
Tottenham, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Everton.
Okay,
Also,
that's
you
tough.
are putting no City, no
No,
United in any of your
no,
top fours.
no. I
The
think
idea that
City will
United
be
will
number
never end up
five.
this time.
Yeah,
Hmm.
City will be number five, and United will be seven. Arsenal will be six, according to
Yes.
me.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And City mainly because I feel Pep Guardiola has lost interest.
Hmm.
He, even though he's a good manager, he is lost interest. It's like his final season at Bayern Munich.
Yeah,
He's
like,
he's no
like
longer, he
at
wants a
his
break.
prime is what you're
He
saying.
needs a 1 year break again.
Yeah.
That's what I think is happening. And also I
I,
think they don't have replacements for all the best players that they had till now.
yeah.
They've never replaced Vincent Company in defense. They've not replaced Silva at the same caliber.
And they
And
let
I don't,
Leroy Sané go, yeah. I think
yeah, and I don't think
that was a big
Aguero
deal.
is the same striker that he was 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, same.
Okay. So for you, Tottenham, Liverpool,
Chelsea, Everton.
Chelsea, Everton. Okay. For me, Chelsea first, City second. I would put Tottenham as number three. All the reasons what you all said, and also I think if anyone can do, only Mourinho can do. And I think Tottenham is just looking for a silverware. It may not be the Premier League. I think expecting the Premier League will be a little bit too much of an expectation from that club. But I think they will definitely win one of the cups for sure. Mourinho will get that, and I think that will still be a big achievement. Top four finish and one cup is what Tottenham is going for. So I'll put them in number third, and my number fourth I will put Arsenal,
Okay.
primarily because I want to bring Arsenal in that number four bracket again, back to the glory days where they
See,
actually deserve.
that's an emotional reason.
Yes.
but but to be very honest, I think Mikel Arteta is a very good manager.
He's done a very
The
good job.
very
Just
good job with the
yes,
team,
yes, they just lost the match against Manchester City, right?
Yeah,
and
but that was City again they were playing.
Yeah. So
what,
again,
what,
City
what
are
was the scoreline?
What's the score
Scoreline,
line? What's the score line?
one
I was
zero.
not.
They lost
Uh,
1-0.
That's still not a
but
bad score line.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I at
that's why
that too at
that
Etihad.
is why I have put Arsenal behind City. See, City is two for me. But I think Arsenal like still has the depth in the side. Gabriel is a very good buy. They got our guy Willian. I just hope Willian does the Chelsea job at Arsenal just like David Lewis is doing. So I just hope he
Agent
replicates
William.
that performance. But I think I will put Arsenal. I am pushing Liverpool out of my top. Primarily, that's a big
That's
claim for me
bold.
because mm,
Old
because of some of these impactful players. I think the loss of Van Dijk, Allison for a long period of time, Firmino, Salah, and Mane have had a very good back-to-back 3 seasons. It is practically impossible to expect like these people to go on forever, and that is what Liverpool has been expecting from them for like this season. I think there's a huge dependence on them, and I don't think so. Without, I think the Anfield angle is also one of the angles why I have put them. But my top four would be Chelsea, City, Tottenham, and Arsenal.
where would you
But see,
put Leeds? Where would you
where would
put
I?
Leeds this time? Leeds.
Very close to top six. Very close to top six. I think the sixth position could either be Leeds or Everton. I
Okay.
think Leeds or Everton will.
It's against Everton. Well, that's a tough comparison you're doing. Leeds are
See,
good in
because,
attacking, but defensively they are pathetic. Like
but
us.
they have one of the bestest managers.
Yeah.
If anyone can turn around a team with just that sort of byproducts, I think
Exactly.
Bielsa is that kind of a manager.
I think
But
they'll do same like what last year Sheffield United did. They would be doing something like that. Not better, but I would say they would They would be able to match that. Even if they end up in Europa this season,
hmm,
that would be a good thing. Because even Wolves, they are doing great
hmm,
for last 2 seasons. They are
yeah,
one of the teams to, like you can say, they are tough contenders for Europa at least. So that
Correct.
5, 6, 7, these are the kind of position where these Leeds and
They'll play.
Wolves will fighting for this season. Yeah.
But one interesting thing, none of us brought United in our conversation also.
I
Not
think I
even top
was
six.
doing
We are
it.
not even considering United now.
United, I am putting my money on Ole
See,
getting sacked mid-season
I
for
can
sure.
bet by November Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to be sacked. I can bet on that because November they have the
Hmm.
toughest fixtures.
Hmm.
Toughest. You can see the line, like the kind of matches they have. They are having. They are again in Champions League. I think they are one of the toughest.
Toughest
Yeah.
draws, yeah.
So even the Man U fans who are the
Hmm.
like the loyal ones like us, they are
Hmm.
saying that Solskjaer is not going to stay after November. That is going to be his end of his journey. And again, a
Hmm.
new manager coming and getting the rhythm going back. It will take some time. Let's see. Let's see.
But good guys. See, I think that's the whole idea of perspectives that mm, just within three of us, we have like so different top four. So you can understand like how diverse the sentiments could be. But but I was really glad. Like like it's almost been close to 100 minutes, and we are still discussing over some of we have
Oh.
barely touched some 4 5 topics, and it was really good to see. And did you like the experience, like the feeling, like being a part of it?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I mean, so we would like definitely. This, I don't think this is the first and the last time. Definitely,
Absolutely, yeah.
if there's a win, we would be more glad to express our emotions with
Yeah.
more aggressiveness rather than just okay, we have lost the match. What to do? If let's say
Mm.
if it had been a win, I would have rated Chelsea at number one. So that would have changed.
Hopefully, hopefully next time, like see, we are by the next time we meet, hopefully we can have Chelsea in your top list also, and not just like a decision driven by heart, but a decision also having some brains contribution. But let's see. But this was really nice, guys, and I would love to do similar collaborations in future as well.
Yeah,
And
Sure,
would
sure,
love to have you
absolutely.
guys feature
yeah,
in my channel, grow this channel more, reach out to wider community audience.
what we
This
have.
channel is more geared towards just
Yes.
getting content candidly from your heart,
Uh,
whatever we can share from our experiences without much expectations. I think this channel is all about that. And I was really glad that I was able to do it with you guys. So thank
thanks a
you.
lot.
Thank you
Thanks for
so much.
inviting us. Yeah.
Okay, looking
And
forward to the next one.
sure, guys, let's be in touch and keep supporting. Blue is the color.